Welcome back to another episode brought to you by Games Glitches. And in today's episode, we're going to take a look at Compys once again. In a previous episode on Compys, I have mentioned that they are tamed exactly like raptors. But that is a mistake, because aside from being tranked, that's where the similarities kind of end. Now, let's go over some ground rules that one should know about a Compy. If you find a Compy by himself, a Compy, whatever you want to call it, by himself or herself, they will just follow you out of pure curiosity. They won't even attack you, as you could see. But, God forbid, while running around, you will see another one, and it also becomes curious and joins the fun. All of a sudden, they become little ferocious bastards that will start kicking your ass. They kind of get, the gang mentality, the more the merrier. We kind of jump your ass if there's more than one. Now, while taming a Compy, you have to be careful not to kill them. They have very little HP, so if your damage is very high, you could easily one-shot the Compy. Now, once you have tranquilized yourself a Compy, please take a note that the torpor is dropping incredibly fast, that within a minute or two, it will get up once again. Just for demonstration's sake, I created a level 200 Compy, unlike the level 100 one, and as you could see, its maximum torpor again is 323, barely increased from the other one. And look at the speed that it's taking away. Within a minute, this whole thing is going to be gone. The interesting thing about Compys is that after your tranquilizer wears off, they do not savagely attack you. They kind of continue to follow you around just out of pure curiosity. So even if it wears off and the Compy is by himself or herself, please note that they will not attack you. They'll just basically resume their curious state. Now, before you proceed to tame a Compy, please make sure that you have two of the following. You have on you narcotics, and you have an access to prime meat. Because prime meat doesn't last very long, you could get that after or while taming Compy. So, one arrow required to trank it, for a simple reason, because it has very little torpor. Now, what you would do, you put narcotics in here, and you click remote use. As you could see here, because the Compy's torpor depletes so fast, all it does is just freezes where it is. But the food continues to deplete. So, what you have to do is basically keep spamming narcotics until the food depletes enough. Of course, if you're going to try to use more than one narcotics, as you could see here, me spamming them does not actually increase torpor. Very little. As you could see, it went from 210.7 to 210.8. And you really have to spam them for that to go up. And now it went down again. Now, one of the little things that I've mentioned before where I made a mistake, that I said Compys can be tamed exactly like raptors. But I made a mistake. The Compys do not progress from raw meat. So if you feed Compy right now raw meat, the food would go up, but the taming level, the most important thing, the food inventory, like the taming level below the unconscious, will not progress whatsoever. What you need to do is give it only prime meat. Otherwise, you will be here for a very long time trying to feed it regular meat with no progress at all. Just so I could demonstrate this to you, as you could see, I've starved my Compy quite well. So I should get at least a slither of progress into taming if I feed it one meat. So, now let's see. We feed it one meat, two. As you could see, no tame bar or progression has happened whatsoever. So the only thing you could give it is prime meat to tame it. If you believe that you can substitute prime meat, let's say you didn't finish all the way with regular meat, as you could see, I've put in prime meat to show it start taming, and then I put in raw meat. And then you do remote use, but as you could see, the taming is still going down nonetheless. On the lower level dinos, as you could see, torpor continues to drop even after you have used narcotics. It goes up and then it starts to rapidly drop down. So you kindly have to sit around and make sure to click narcotic. As you can see, because this dino has so very little torpor, you have to sit around and keep clicking on narcotics to use. Otherwise, he'll run out of torpor and wake up. The food is going down nice and steadily, so you just have to now sit back and wait. I personally love to starve an dino by about 60%. I know it's not necessarily needed and maybe it's excessive, but to each their own. I'm gonna starve this right now down to 150 and then start feeding it prime meat. Now, once you have prime meat in hand, because this is the only thing that this dino would consume, you would start feeding the dino. And about 2 prime meats, and there you go. You have now tamed yourself a compy. I apologize, call it a compy throughout this whole video, but I'm very terrible at pronouncing names and I decided not to butcher it for you guys. Now you give it, of course, a name. And there you have it. You have yourself a nice little compy. I hope you all enjoyed this guide, and I am very sorry for the mistake I've done in the other videos in comparison compies to the raptors. Also, please note that I will be now uploading videos at 60 FPS at 1080p and also looking into uploading videos at 1040p and up. Thank you all again, and please don't forget to subscribe for the upcoming content.